So we must try, okay, I truly want to develop a kind heart. Because right now, our heart is true, but it depends. Depends on, depends on the others. If they're nice to me, then my heart is kind. But when someone's a little bit not good, my heart does not like that. See, that's the reason why, you're right. It's very complicated. It's very difficult to really attain this, to generate a true bodhicitta. This heart is so biased,
It's just that when you talk about in January and period, and that's quite right, because those are the times where you remember and you do it, Christmas time, New Year, but then it's a start.
Yes, it is start every time on Christmas time.
Yes, because it's a remembrance.
Right.
Just like you remember the day your parents died.
Yes.
You remember his Buddha birthday.
Yes.
Yes, so it's a reminder.
Yeah, but but that's true. But then it says here, as Venerable Shodan said, we cannot be all the time being reminded. We're gonna have to automatically be that.
And that's what we have to start by.
This is exactly, and this is how. There is no escape, guys. If you're telling me, oh, I have all the intelligence to understand the Buddha teachings, but you cannot practice it. Even if they practice it only once a year, only when there's a puja, only when they see a sangha, But when you are in, other faces of other people, you're so different. This is why, okay, because we don't have enough practice. We don't really, when you start to, the salt, yeah, a rock salt, yeah, you put on the boiling pot and you leave it there. Do you think all the pot has the salt? You have to stir it. How do you stir it? In time, yeah? Really, not rush, chuck, chuck, chuck like that, because that rock of salt, the bodhicitta that you may have, understand, has not dissolved yet, yeah? No rushing. When you cook real good food, you don't rush, so that all the ingredients come together. Okay, so when you stir the rock salt, slowly, you even control the heat, right? And this is what it takes now, is you gotta have to do the stirring. And the stirring is basically the most difficult one, because you don't know how to stir, when to stir, okay? And how much effort you're gonna put in. This is what the method is all about. It depends. Some bodhicitta, okay? Some people, because of our karma, okay, bodhicitta comes automatically. But from others, it takes a long time for this bodhicitta rock salt to dissolve. Because first, there's no heat, no fire. They're not receiving Buddha Dharma. So it's right there, right? But it's not melting at all. So it really is very interdependent. Okay, now it says the first activity is what? Upon waking up in the morning. We may only touch 4 today. Okay? So just imagine yourself waking up today or tomorrow. So what are you going to need to do? Okay? In the morning, when we first wake up, we can start thinking, not even getting up. or even not even your eyes open, yeah, is you say, today, as much as possible, I will not harm anybody. Gonna have to write this down, yeah. Today, as much as possible, I am going to try to be of service to others and to benefit them. And say, today, I want to do all actions, be it small or big, with the aim that all living beings can attain a long-term happiness of enlightenment.
One again.
Today, I want to do all actions, be it big or small, with the aim that all living beings can attain the long-term happiness. Not only short-term, long-term of enlightenment. That is the first thing that actually moists the mind. Okay, this is the first drop in the morning. And then the next activity is finding time to meditate each day. So, my question is, why is it that 24 hours run out when it's time to meditate? It's like, oh, I don't have time. You know, my 24 hours finish. So here's the thing, okay? I'd like you to really think of this. Let's see if it penetrates. When we understand the value and effect of a spiritual practice, when you know the value, okay, and the positive effect of a spiritual practice, then it will become a high priority in the life. If you see the value of it, it's priority. And when you see that, you say it as this is important, because it's a priority, right? So then therefore, we find time for it. So I'd like you to really, I'd like your attention to this for a second, because, you know, you are grilling and wanting to learn about the Buddha Dharma, and really, you know, you're gonna have to participate as in, you know, the soldiers, you know, when they go to a boot camp, at the beginning it's like, oh, I don't even know why I'm become a soldier, you know, but then they, you know how they drill you, you know, teach you how to do this, that, run, you know, how to use this, that, you know. And then all of a sudden, you change. And you say, I believe in this. I believe that I am going to be the warrior to save the universe, you know. And then because it's greater, there's a reason, and there's the value of that changes everything. So then it becomes very important, you know. The way that you do things already lined up to the goal and the wish. And you say, and if you think of this, I am a bodhisattva. Little by little, at the beginning you said that there's no way I can be bodhisattva. But I tell you what, all bodhisattvas, Manjushri and Samantabhadra, were like us before. The only thing that differentiates them to us is they see the value of their practice. That's it. They put effort to their practice and they become bodhisattvas and eventually becomes Buddha. You know, when you become bodhisattva, no turning back. Bodhisattvas don't walk backwards or sideways. They go like that without any hesitation. They go straight, like someone who's studying a graduate degree and wanting to do the PhD. You know, if one determines to finish because he believes in the value of that training, he's not gonna back down. He's gonna finish it to the end and attain, you know, the accomplishment. So the morning meditation is very important, okay? As I've said, you know, actually Venerable Chodron is even saying 15 minutes. What did I tell you? 5. I even lowered it to 10 minutes lower. But usually, you know, eventually you climb up to a higher, you know. But don't go beyond 10 at this point. So, in the morning, it is good to begin your meditation with a few prayers. Okay, so these are the things that you can do when you're doing sitting meditation. You know how right now you don't memorize prayers? Because you're not used to it. You know, I give you this one and you say, oh my goodness, this is a lot. But you sit and you say, and say, okay, saying this prayer is my point of meditation. It's true. Okay, and you recite every day. Recite like that every day until you then don't need this anymore, right? And you just sit there. Don't even open your mouth and you're praying. Beautiful. Because what? The more prayers you memorize, the better. Why? Because at the time of death, when you need to calm the mind, this is the position. When you're dying, is your mouth gonna open? No. That would be scary. You're gonna scare the family. Okay? I didn't even think about that, Helen, but yes.
Can I ask you something quite different from this?
Sure.
Is it important when you're dying, at your last breath,
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
Yes, of course. Yes. That's why the lamas, okay, when they die, they're in a meditative concentration. They begin with their prayers. When all is chaotic, because you know, the bardo state when we die is the levels. There's like about 8 dissolutions, okay? And in the first dissolution, you're probably gonna lose it. So, unless you're very trained, okay? And this is what trains you. So, I can send you more prayers, and it's beautiful prayer, actually. At the beginning, of course, it's like, oh my goodness, but they're beautiful prayers that once you are in a quiet position and not moving, okay, and you memorize these prayers, that's it, you know. And
But once a person dies, you know how they have prayer
Yes, but it's, remember, that's only a seventh help. The real one, the real help is you. Remember, at the time of death, no one can help, okay, except you, depending on the nature of your mind. So imagine if your prayers are exquisite. You can recite those prayers without moving your lips and close your eyes, and you just... Now, at the beginning, it's not easy, okay? That's why you have to recite them with motion with the mouth, because it is muscle. You remember them, okay? There are layers of because when you recite this, for example, at the time of death, and you say, I'm gonna say, because you won't hear it if, if you say, may all mother sentient beings, and you do it as slow as you can, and you say, boundless of the sky, you don't really care what's happening outside already. You are locked in to the meditative prayer mode. And your prayers may be so long. That's why the lamas, when they're in meditative concentration, they're not dead yet. And you're talking about 10 days to 15 days. Yeah, and that's why we cannot move them, because they're not dead yet. But they've been there for 10. Geshe Paden is 10 days.
And they're praying. They're praying.
How do you know they are praying?
Huh? Because that's what they're in meditative, they call it meditative concentration. But of course, the mind is locked into an object of concentration, and mostly it starts with the prayer. And then of the prayer, then you're into your object of meditation, okay? So this all takes practice, and you can develop one if you want it, okay? It takes, I'm telling you, this is the one that is differentiate all of us now, okay? But if we don't know how to do it, how will I know? How will you know? That's why, to the mercy of the Buddha, from my teachers all lined up to the end of Shakyamuni, these are all taught in the stages of the path. So these prayers is all yours. It doesn't matter whether you pray in Chinese or in English, in Hindi, whatever. Okay, as long as they have a continuation. And the more you memorize prayers, the most amazing that would be. Because it is already a meditative object of concentration. Yeah? That's one. Okay? And then, if you cannot do yet, after the little short prayers, okay? You do as breathing meditation. Just breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Because what it's doing here is you're making your mind go to one point. Why one point? Because at the time of death, there's many things you will see. You're going to be so distracted. And fear would come. Sadness would come. Attachment. Very strong. And remember, it said when you're at death, at the time of death, your throwing karma determines what the state of mind at the time of death. So these are all training. Okay? It's trainable. It's doable. And at this point, when you breathe in and out, you let your worries all go. Subside. Let them be, and then just focus on the breathing in and out. And for parents, it's also good to see, that your children see you sit and meditate and be calm. And you say, why dad does that? My mom does that. And you say, honey, I just need a quiet, and you're just there. You know? And you said, when mommy closed the eyes, you do not disturb. See, very good example for children, that actually even they don't understand what's going on, they see you. That is, you the parent, no? Very good example. You know how to sit and be calm. Such a beautiful practice. Okay? Then you can also teach them how to make offerings to the Buddha. Okay? If you have youngsters, you know, teach them how to do that. Okay. So, you got your morning, you know, when you wake up, right? Before you even get up, you have something already. You have that aspiration prayer. When you get up, immediately sit. Okay? Well, wash your face first and get clean up. Okay? Especially when you're in front of the Buddha or your altar. Okay? Like that. And do a little prayer and sit without moving. And just breathe in and out. Every day like that. 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Don't exceed. Okay? Then, when you come out, alright, during that time too, you can do your offerings, okay? I don't know what other ritual of activities you have. You can do your Buddha offerings and then you sit. Offering first and then sit. Okay? So then after that, when you get up, okay, you go out and you say, good morning everybody! Now this is gonna be hard because some are grumpy. Maybe, yeah? Because it's very hard. People don't wake up as like you. So, you have breakfast and then the first thing is you greet, okay, your family in the morning. Why is this? Because this is also Dharma practice. You start with the family. Have that heart set into, remember? It's like, I will not harm anyone. Because some people, you know, when they wake up, they're also tired. Okay? So, not quite 100% yet. But because we generate motivation of kindness upon awakening, that will help us overcome being grumpy. Immediately, right? It reminds you like, look, you need to be kind, so don't be grumpy. You're going to practice kindness. Okay? And to cultivate a new habit, instead cultivating the new habit of what? Of rejoicing in our fortune. Like, wow, cereal again. What a wonderful, amazing cereal. I'll make it different this time. Yeah? So basically being the usual grumpiness or like, you know, I don't want to hear anything in the morning. You say, oh, look at the birds. They're tweeting. You know, I'm alive. You know, like that. See, your day already has changed. You know, this becomes a habit. Actually, my practice is when my alarm goes on or off, I smile. Now, this is going to be very difficult practice. Like, who's going to smile with the alarm? You know, but you know what? This is what I'm telling you. I can prove to you that this mind-changing practice, okay, changed my physical condition. When my alarm, you know, make that sound, I smile and say, wow, another day to serve someone. I cannot wait. Okay, so we'll end here, right? You didn't go to work yet. You're still at home. But next session, okay, we will talk about when you finish breakfast, you're gonna go take a shower, you know, and then you hop into the car and you go to work. Or whatever activities you're gonna, you know, be involved in. Whether you're gonna go to work really, or you're gonna go visit someone, yeah. This is what we call practicing Dharma at the workplace. This is actually beautiful. And I can share to you what my techniques and methods as well. Yeah. Because this Dharma is never separate from me. And if you do this, you don't need you don't have to be a monastic to do this. Yeah. This is for everyone. Okay. So all clear? Yeah, you got those steps. So you try to practice that, yeah? Okay. So let's dedicate. But before that, anyone has questions? This is clear? Yeah, this is now the beginning of bodhicitta, okay? You're gonna breathe in and out bodhicitta every moment. This is the way to steer the rock salt. Okay. Yeah? Okay. So, on page 3, we all recite this together. Okay. Through the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the precious body-mind, not yet born, arise and grow, and may that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. May anyone who merely sees, hears, remembers, touches or talks to me be freed from that very instant from all sufferings and abide in happiness forever. May all sentient beings who have been all my mothers and father be completely happy, and may the lower realms be forever empty. May all the prayers of bodhisattvas in whatever places they live be immediately fulfilled. Day and night may I pass the time thinking and examining by what means these teachings can spread in the minds of myself and others. May I experience whatever suffering sentient beings have, and may they experience whatever happiness and virtue I have. It is solely from the kindness of my spiritual mentors that I have to come to be acquainted with the peerless Buddha's words. Thus, I dedicate these merits so that every sentient being may be cared for in the future by kind and sublime spiritual mentors. With my heart going up with great compassion, in whatever directions the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I expose this treasure of happiness and aid. Very good. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Okay.